about basic sketching. So, Akshay is a very creative person, and he's a transportation designer, and he's teaching product sketching and product design in Pune Design School. So, I would request Akshay to take in charge and show us the process of 3D sketching. Akshay, over to you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akshay Chavan. I welcome you all on behalf of PDS, that is Pune Design School and Pimpri Chinchwad University. So let's get started. So for am I audible? Am I audible? So for today's webinar topic is basics of 3D sketching. So sketching is a basic used to uh, communicate your ideas in any industrial design, in any branch of industrial design, where what are the importance of 3D sketching. The It helps in enhance the visualization of your concept or ideas, because we don't write ideas, or we have to show them in the form of pictorial, the concept of your product or your any kind of design. And this helps in communication. For the exploded view, we don't show it without in a 2D form. It's difficult to understand the working of any object or any product. So in 3D view, we get the actual representation of that object or the product. So it helps in better understanding of the concepts. So the 3D sketching is mainly categorizes into two types. First is the isometric sketching, where iso means the equal measurements. ISO is equal and metric is the measurements, where the three axes are divided into equally 120-degree quadrants. Here we get the scale consistency as we transfer the 2D data into 3D form. We transfer them in equal size equally, and in isometric form we draw the parallel projections, and there are no distortions in the isometric sketching. So it's clear representation of the objects and its dimensions. And second is the perspective sketching. In perspective sketching, uh, we convince the realism of space and depth, where the key elements are the horizontal line, which is the viewer's eye line, and vanishing points are the points where the constructing lines are converges. There are three types of perspective sketching. One is a one point perspective, which actually we observe usually in a when we are looking at it at a front side, when we are standing at the center of anything, like we are viewing at the center of the road or the railway station. In 2 point perspective, there are two vanishing points, and vertical lines are not converging at any points. The horizontal points lines are converging at the vanishing points. While in the 3 point perspective, there are three vanishing points. Here, all lines are converging at vanishing points. Like this, in example, we we are looking at this bag has distorted view of it, where height also converging at the bottom. So now we will have some demonstration of the 3D sketching. So before you sketch anything, always try to warm up your hand. So the basics of sketching are the lines, and never use any scale while sketching. Always try to do it with a free hand. And try to make it parallel to each other. That's how you will get to see it's straight or not. So similarly, we will practice the circles. First, hover it for the some time. Draw the Similarly, we will practice the ellipses. So ellipse has two axes. One is the major axis and the other is minor axis. So whenever we see circle in perspective or in isometric form, it always an ellipse, and circle is also an ellipse with this same measurement of minor chord and major chord. So try to warm up before you start sketching. So first we will draw the one point perspective now. First we make the horizontal line, then we will take the vanishing point, then draw the two lines from it which are converging towards it, and we will draw a plane. Draw the vertical lines of the cube. Similarly, draw the lines from the converging vanishing point. and join these lines so that we will get the cuboid in perspective, 1 point perspective. Just to differentiate it from the both the surfaces, I am shading it. Then we will see how 2 point perspective is. So we will draw two vanishing points and same cube we are going to draw in it. The bottom plane of the cube, this is the bottom plane of the cube. In 2 point perspective, the vertical lines are not converging at any point. So to construct the top of cuboid, we will draw the lines from the vanishing point. Now we will join this and construct a cuboid. So as we see in a when we are looking at it at the horizon line, we are not going to see the top portion of it and the bottom portion of it. So let's draw another cube. So as we move further from horizon line, the distortions get higher and higher. So when we are drawing in perspective, in 2 point perspective, below the horizon line, we can see the top of the cuboid. To differentiate the faces of the cuboid, I am shading it. This is how it looks in the 2 point perspective. When we draw above the horizon line, we will get to see the bottom of that cube. This is the bottom of the cube. Now we will see the 3-point perspective. So in 3-point perspective, we first draw the horizontal line, then we draw the 3 vanishing point. In 3-point perspective, the all the lines we are constructing used to construct the cube all get distorted in the 3-point perspective. Like this, bottom and height is converging, that cuboid is converging at the top. To distinguish the surfaces, I am shading it. So the perspective sketching is used majorly to experience the realism and the depth of the object or the product. Now I will draw an vehicle tire in perspective with the use of the ellipse. So the tire is basically the cylinder which is these are the contour lines used to show the transition in the surface. Darkening the final lines so that it's easy to understand the surfaces. I'm shading it the darker area which is away from the light. To show it is resting on the ground, I am going to add a shadow at its bottom. When where it touches the ground, there is the darker tone. So to just to for understanding, I'm drawing ellipse on a two axis. When we look it from the front, it is a circle. As we move further, it minor axis get smaller, smaller and similar way. When we look at the tire from the top or some height, we will get to see the elliptical form of its rim from the top view. I will darken the inner surface. Similarly, to show it resting on the ground, I'm going to add the shadow below it. So thank you everyone for your time. I would request you to keep practicing and keep making progress. Thank you.
Everyone to follow Akshay's work. I would also request everyone to please visit the campus and see there are so many creative facilities which you can dealt with here. You have so many tools to experience. So please visit the Pune Design School campus. Thank you so much.